Everything here is so weird. You ever see something so visually captivating that you just can't get it out of your head? Like a painfully catchy melody, it's lodged itself in your cortex, ever present at the forefront of your thoughts. The type of art that defies immediate understanding, that I think gets so lodged because, kind of like how sometimes that catchy melody ends up repeating because our brain can't solve the puzzle because it can't complete the entire song mentally, so too our mind can't completely break down the visual qualities of whatever it is in any immediate fashion. So many things we see, understand, and just as quickly forget, but of those millions of miniature snapshots we take and discard every day, every so often some will possess enough intrigue to stay stuck in there without end. The explosive running sequence of Princess Kaguya, the staircase scene in
The Thief and the Cobbler.
Some things have so much visual identity that they've so deeply ingrained themselves in my memory, I can almost close my eyes and play them back on repeat. And I have a really bad mind's eye for someone purporting to be an artist. So, hello. Yeah, I would call myself a fan of things that look cool. How's that for an opener? Might have to add that one to my Tinder bio. I've got an endless love for the innovative and inspired when it comes to presentation, presenting something weird with the wits and wherewithal to fully realize a particular vision. So now that I've gassed it up enough to fly a blimp, let's get right into ENA. And I'll show you my praise for it is far more than hot air, I promise. Because, well, look at it. Brainchild of independent animator Joel G, this currently 3-episode long YouTube series follows ENA and Mooney within this surreal world. Humor often rising through the frankness with which its nonsensical nature is portrayed, the way it balances a sense of underlying unease with the chipper and unaffected cast of characters. Now the meat of the story definitely merits some analysis, but I'm just gonna be straight and say it's not even close to the main appeal for me. The overall structure of each episode is satisfying, the sensation of mystery, the character writing, the humor, all these contribute to my enjoyment. But when it comes to theories over potential deeper elements in the story, well, I'll just leave that to those who are willing to do the work. What struck me and held me down like a... wait, maybe this analogy is not the best one. What really grabbed me about ENA was the presentation of the whole affair. I found it endlessly rewatchable, surely in part because of it being only like 30 minutes in total, but also because simply being inside the world of ENA is deeply satisfying. I never get sick of looking at it. It's like its own mini museum, with the constant sequence of uniquely intriguing imagery to observe. There's a lot of levels on which this series' visual language operates, and in particular I think the diversity of influence it pulls from is a big part of what makes it work. Ultimately, few things, if any, are wholly of their own. What usually stands apart from the crowd as oh so unique and original is that which pulls from a broader and less utilized set of influences than its contemporaries. And Joel G is certainly pulling from a broad selection here, things right in line with the internet age juxtaposed against artistic flavors of contemporary and classic art, with the cubism and expressionism of Picasso, the surrealism of... hold on.
Of Zdzisław Beksiński. Zdzisław
Beksiński. Okay, I tried. You can at least give me that. It pulls from games, movies, music videos, and wears all those influences proudly on its sleeve. It's a unique melting pot of aesthetic influences that comes together to create an unforgettable combination, each element contrasting and complementing one another seamlessly, not only for the explicit visuals as well, but also the dialogue and movement of the characters, an aesthetic quality in its own right. It makes efficient use of looped animations, which plays into its game-like quality, but also allows the viewer to dwell on each motion, which all convey a lot of personality. Clearly, a lot of thought was put into making each one memorable. The series does this consistently, focusing on crafting imagery that you can actually spend some time looking at and letting itself dwell when the time calls, aided by the fantastic soundtrack to ensure that there's never a dull moment. It's far from the most bombastic in terms of its visuals, but everything that is there has a lot to it. One particular front on which it really stood out to me, and is probably the most immediately obvious, is how it pulls from video games. However, ENA does it in a way I've never really seen before, and definitely not with such seamlessness. Especially in the final episode, it really masters its style. ENA pulls from and embraces the aesthetic language of video games, and I mean that in the fullest sense. The look of a video game is a lot more than pixels and HUDs, as much as isekai anime might like you to think, and those untapped anachronisms are what ENA builds itself around. The way each character pops into frame floating over the background, one on display at a time, like an animated version of the limited expressions paired with text often found in JRPGs, for instance. The 3D landscape through which we traverse in an on-rails POV perspective, like this one moment where the pathway warps and as we travel down it or our perspective rather, jumps twice. It's a little, very inconsequential touch, but wholly in line with the logic and mindset of if one were to be playing through this as a game. It brought a huge smile to my face the moment it happened. I think it's part of what makes the world feel so immersive, because it's borrowing from one of the most inherently immersive mediums, tapping into its potential. It has that sense of explorative freedom, while also letting the creator fully control the experience delivered, walking a rather intriguing tightrope. I absolutely love how it embraces the visual elements of games that were ultimately born from limitations. The repeated textures, the boxy rooms, limited pixels, polygons, and crushed audio. All things that now there is a well-deserved renaissance of unironic appreciation for their respective artistic merits. Perhaps it also has a distinctive appeal to me personally, as someone quite drawn to the aesthetic qualities and potential behind games, but often not particularly fond of the tedium that fairly often comes with it being, well, a game. Wait, no, I take it back. Please don't take away my gamer card. Anything but that. Anything but my gamer card. If you have a minute, or maybe 30 of them, I'd beseech you to give ENA a watch. I'm absolutely infatuated with it, and perhaps you will be too. Especially if you think it looks cool, if you are like actually watching this video and don't just have it tabbed over and can look with your eyes at the footage I'm showing you. The traversal from surreal to surrealer, like a trip in LSD Dream Simulator and Yume Nikki, possesses a similar dreamlike quality, one with a strangely comforting nature to it, basking in the bizarre and presenting it perfectly. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, my friend Hector made a video talking about the music, so maybe check it out and go show him some love. Special thanks to all my lovely patrons. Also, check me out, I'm live on Twitch right now at twitch.tv/actual_core. As always, I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.